Well, a total of 33 rebel Shiv Sena MLAs and 7 independent Maharashtra legislators led by Minister Eknath Shinde have flown into Guwahati in a chartered aircraft to avoid being reached by Sena Supremo and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. The special plane carrying these MLAs who have revolted against Uddhav Thackeray landed at the Borjhar airport shortly before 7. And they're being whisked away to a 5-star hotel in the city where tight security has been put in place since last night. The scene of the political tug-of-war in Maharashtra has, in a way, shifted to Guwahati with the arrival of the rebel Sena legislators. And they were earlier put up at a resort in Surat in Gujarat. And there are speculations as of now that these rebel Sena MLAs are in touch with the BJP that has a strength of 106 in the Maharashtra Assembly. With the arrival of these MLAs in Guwahati, a steady flow of political bigwigs to the city is also expected. And earlier, these MLAs were driven to the airport from the Le Meridian in Surat at midnight in 3 coaches. In fact, rebel Sena leader Eknath Shinde has said last night that he has the support of more than 30 MLAs with him. Shinde has since been dropped by the Shiv Sena from his position as the legislative group leader. Eknath Shinde needs 37 MLAs to topple the Thackeray-led 𝐏𝐸𝐬𝐬 government in Maharashtra. So indeed, viewers, the big development to start us off this morning, the political crisis in Maharashtra deepens with a total of 33 rebel Shiv Sena MLAs and 7 independent Maharashtra legislators led by Minister Eknath Shinde have flown into Guwahati in a chartered aircraft to avoid being reached by Sena Supremo and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. Well, the special plane carrying these MLAs who had revolted against Uddhav Thackeray landed at the Borjhar airport in Guwahati just before 7 a.m. And they are now being whisked away to a 5-star hotel in the city where tight security has already been put in place since last night. The scene of the political tug-of-war in Maharashtra has, in a way, shifted to here in Guwahati with the arrival of these rebel Sena legislators. And they were earlier put up at a resort in Surat in Gujarat. And there are also speculations doing the rounds as of now that these rebel Sena MLAs are in touch with the BJP that has a strength of 106 in the Maharashtra Assembly. With the arrival of these MLAs in Guwahati, a steady flow of political bigwigs to the city is also expected. And earlier, these MLAs were driven to the airport from the Le Meridian in Surat at midnight in 3 separate coaches. In fact, rebel Sena leader Eknath Shinde has said last night that he has the support of 30 MLAs with him. Shinde has since been dropped by the Shiv Sena from his position as the legislative group leader. Eknath Shinde needs 37 MLAs to topple the Thackeray-led 𝐏𝐸𝐬𝐬 government in Maharashtra.
हाँ? क्या बताना?
आप गुवाहाटी क्यों आए हैं?
जय महाराष्ट्र, जय महाराष्ट्र।
क्या समझौता हुआ? बताइए।
Yes, indeed, viewers, what you see on your screens are the exclusive visuals gathered by your channel Northeast Live from earlier in the morning today as the MLAs led by Eknath Shinde arrived at the 𝐿𝐺𝐵I airport in Guwahati. And since then, from what we have been given to understand, they have been whisked away to a 5-star hotel right here in Guwahati. And these are exclusive visuals from right outside the airport in Guwahati from earlier in the morning today as the MLAs arrived in Guwahati before they were quickly whisked away to a 5-star hotel in the city.
गुवाहाटी में आए हैं हम लोग सब लोग और यहाँ पर पीछे लो लगना नहीं चाहिए शिवसेना के 40 MLAs अभी यहाँ मौजूद है और सभी लोग जो है हम बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का जो हिंदुत्व है इस और उनकी जो भूमिका है उसको हम लोग आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं और
शिंदे जी मराठी संपूर्ण राज्य तुमच्याकडे बघतंय मराठी शिंदे जी मराठी
देखिए मुझे किसके ऊपर टीका टिप्पणी नहीं करनी है मुझे इतना ही बात है कि जो शिवसेना के MLA है आज यहाँ मौजूद है और बाला साहब की जो हिंदुत्व की बात है उसे हम लोग आगे जाएंगे
शिंदे जी काही आमदार तुमच्या बरोबर
So there you have it, viewers. The big update coming in at this point in time, a total of 40 MLAs have, led by none other than Minister Eknath Shinde, are currently in Guwahati, lodged at a 5-star hotel in the city. A total of 40 MLAs, viewers, mind you, 33 MLAs of former Sena MLAs and 7 independents, and of course led by Eknath Shinde right here in Guwahati. Of course, these are early developments right here in the morning today, viewers, as just before 7 a.m. these MLAs led by Eknath Shinde had arrived in Guwahati and have then been whisked away to a hotel in Guwahati. Right, and to bring us all the latest updates regarding this big development, I am being joined now over the phone by our news editor, Nabrun Goswami. Nabrun, this is indeed a big development as far as the political crisis in Maharashtra is concerned, with the crisis now shifting scene of sorts right here in Guwahati. 33 Shiv Sena MLAs and also 7 independents led by Eknath Shinde right here in the city. What more would you like to add, Nabrun?
Definitely, Ronak, the scene of action has now shifted to Guwahati. What is interesting is that till last evening, earlier reports were coming in that only 21 Shiv Sena MLAs are with Eknath Shinde. Later on, it was being speculated that the numbers would be around 30. What we're learning now is that as many as 33 MLAs are with Shinde, apart from 7 independents. That takes the number to 40, the number of MLAs. Who he claims to have the support of, it's 40 as of now. So clearly, the Maha government, the Uddhav Thackeray government, is definitely in trouble. The total strength of the Maharashtra Assembly is 288, with one legislator dead. The number is down to 287. This means the majority mark in the Assembly in the event of a trust vote is 144. Now, the strength of the Shiv Sena NCP Congress government is currently 152. If we take away 33 from that, which is 33 Shiv Sena MLAs,
right,
then the number definitely comes down below 120. So that speaks for itself. The Shiv Sena, for instance, has 55 MLAs, of which if you take away 33, the Shiv Sena itself is reduced to less than to almost 20 MLAs. So this speaks about the crisis that the Shiv Sena and the Maharashtra government is currently going through right now. Very interesting that the scene of action has shifted to Guwahati. Ronak, of course, they were in Surat, lodged in Surat, in a hotel in Surat till last evening. But again, the Shiv Sena government was trying to contact these MLAs, and now they have been moved to Guwahati. The BJP is closely monitoring the situation. The Congress has maintained that it is Shiv Sena's internal matter. All the Congress MLAs are intact, and they hope that the Shiv Sena will be able to resolve its internal tussle, internal matter, and that the government will be stable. But definitely, things are not looking good as far as Uddhav Thackeray is concerned. There's an anger brewing among a number of Sena MLAs over the functioning of the government, especially the arbitrary use of power by Ajit Pawar, the deputy CM. And of course, this is a result of this. Now, very interesting, another thing I want to point out, Ronak, is that it's a well-known fact that in the MLC, in the recently considered MLC polls in Maharashtra, a number of MLAs have voted for the BJP. Now, very interestingly, the BJP is claiming that it has the support of as many as 134 to 135 MLAs. And it also claims that in the MLC elections, it got the support. It managed to secure MLC, the Maharashtra Legislative Council elections. It managed to secure at least 134 votes. That means it has the support of 134 MLAs. The BJP on its own has 106. That means it has managed the other 20 or more votes through cross voting. A number of Shiv Sena MLAs, it is being said, have voted for the BJP. Now, this makes the figure very interesting because if these MLAs were to resign, the majority mark will again come down. The majority mark will even come down even below 130, and the BJP is now claiming 134. Now, also, another point that I want to make here is that if Eknath Shinde wants to split the Shiv Sena, he requires the support of at least 37 of the Shiv Sena MLAs. It is 2/3, 37. Right now, he has 33. So I'm sure efforts would be underway to bring more MLAs to the camp. That Uddhav Thackeray is in trouble was understood also from the fact that barely 18 Shiv Sena MLAs had attended a meeting at his residence yesterday. Even though the Shiv Sena has been claiming that only 8 to 9 MLAs are with Eknath Shinde, the numbers right now are speaking for themselves. As many as 33, as we are learning, have landed in Guwahati. Add to that 7 independents, so 40. Clearly the support of 40 MLAs right now with Eknath Shinde. The BJP is very closely monitoring the situation, and Uddhav Thackeray again has appealed to the rebel MLAs to come back to Maharashtra and sort things out, talk things out. The NCP, another ally of the Shiv Sena government in Maharashtra, is also closely monitoring things. Uddhav Thackeray is requesting the MLAs to come back to Mumbai and sort things out, talk things out. He has been trying to reach out. In fact, some reports yesterday had said that Uddhav Thackeray had also offered to step down to make way for Eknath Shinde. So this itself speaks about the desperation of the current Maharashtra Chief Minister,
Absolutely.
who definitely knows that there is trouble brewing, Ronak.
Absolutely. And Nabrun, touching on something which you have already spoken about, keep factoring in all of these recent developments, it is only natural that the BJP is taking a very keen interest on these developments and is also closely monitoring all of these developments, isn't it?
Definitely, of course, it speaks for itself. First, the Shiv Sena MLAs shifted to Gujarat, a BJP-ruled state. Of course, the Maharashtra government, the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray had been able to reach out to the MLAs in Surat. So now they have been shifted to Assam, again, another BJP-ruled state. So it clearly says that the BJP is monitoring the situation. In fact, the Maharashtra BJP leaders had also admitted that BJP leaders from the state have met the Shiv Sena MLAs in Surat. So definitely the BJP is in the scheme of things and very closely monitoring the situation. Well, the Uddhav Thackeray government has faced many tests since it took over, but this is by far the biggest, mind you, Ronak, open revolt in the Shiv Sena. This was brewing for quite some time, what was yesterday initially taken lightly probably by the Mahagadi government has now developed into a very serious situation for them. 40 MLAs, 33 from the Shiv Sena, which means the majority of the MLAs from the Shiv Sena are with Eknath Shinde at the moment, unless Uddhav Thackeray is able to pull off something spectacular, something miraculous to get them back to Maharashtra, to get them to talk and resolve things. But at this moment, definitely the rebels have made their point. The rebel MLAs have made their point, and definitely it's advantage to them as we speak. And also as we speak, Ronak, the rebel MLAs have been shifted to a Guwahati hotel where they just reached. They had left Surat airport around 2:30 last night. We can say around 2:33, and arrived in Guwahati shortly before 7. They didn't say much. Of course, Eknath Shinde made a point very interestingly, is that they will remain with Shiv Sena. They will never betray Balasaheb Thackeray's ideology.
Right.
That's what they have said. And this could mean that possibly they're looking at a split of the Shiv Sena, and probably the MLAs will not actually join the BJP, but they're trying to split the Shiv Sena and retain its identity with the core ideology of Balasaheb Thackeray. So definitely Eknath Shinde, they are definitely making a point and saying that, in a way indicating that Uddhav Thackeray, the current Shiv Sena, has compromised with that ideology, and it's time to change, it's time to shift. So definitely this drama is unfolding as the day progresses, and it is to be seen what will be the next move of the Uddhav Thackeray government. Will the BJP now claim support of these MLAs? We have to wait and see how the numbers shape up, Ronak.
Absolutely. A lot of interesting political developments in store for us as the day progresses. We'll have to wait and watch how things turn out. And Arun Goswami, thank you very much for joining us this morning and bringing us all of those latest details. So there you have it, viewers, the big political development, the Maharashtra political crisis, the scene of action of the crisis shifting of sorts to right here in Guwahati. Of course, all the rebel MLAs led by Eknath Shinde making the way to Guwahati earlier in the morning today. And now, as per the latest inputs, they have been whisked away to a 5-star hotel right here in the city. So we have to wait and watch how things unfold as the day progresses. A lot of speculations doing the round, a lot of possibilities, and we will keep you up to date with all of these developments as and when the drama unfolds.
जय महाराष्ट्र.
And of course, as mentioned, these are what you see on your screens are the exclusive visuals accessed by your channel Northeast Live from earlier in the morning today, as the MLAs, the 40 MLAs to be precise, led by Eknath Shinde, made their way out of the LGBI airport after having arrived in Guwahati city. And since then, they boarded a bus and were quickly whisked away to a hotel in the city. And of course, all of this has been going on, viewers, in a bid to prevent the Sena Supremo and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray from being able to reach out or contact any of these MLAs led by Eknath Shinde. And of course, before arriving in Guwahati today, these MLAs were putting up at a hotel in Surat in Gujarat. And then, of course, now the scene of action has shifted to right here in Guwahati city. Lots of interesting developments already being speculated to be in store as the day progresses. We will have to wait and watch how things unfold from here. Yes, indeed, viewers, all eyes will be on Guwahati city for today as these 40 MLAs led by Eknath Shinde, 33 Shiv Sena MLAs to be precise, along with 7 independents, a total of 40 MLAs led by Minister Eknath Shinde, arrived in Guwahati today amidst a lot of media coverage. And of course, as you can see, a crowd of people there at the early morning hours in Guwahati airport. And of course, there is a lot of political drama. If things are if these visuals are anything to go by, a lot of political drama, a lot of developments, interesting developments are likely in store for us as the day progresses.
गुवाहाटी में आए हैं हम लोग सब लोग और यहाँ पर
पीछे लो, लगना नहीं चाहिए. शिंदे साहेब, पूर्ण राज्याचं लक्ष तुमच्यावर आहे.
शिवसेना के 40 MLAs अभी यहाँ मौजूद है और सभी लोग जो है, हम बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का जो हिंदुत्व है इस और उनकी जो भूमिका है उसको हम लोग आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं। और
शिंदे जी मराठी संपूर्ण राज्य तुमच्याकडे बघतंय। मराठी शिंदे जी मराठी।
देखिए, मुझे किसके ऊपर टीका टिप्पणी नहीं करनी है। मुझे इतना ही बात है कि जो शिवसेना के एमएलए है आज यहाँ मौजूद है और बाला साहब की जो हिंदुत्व की बात है उससे हम लोग आगे जाएंगे।
शिंदे जी काही आमदार तुमच्या बरोबर
गुवाहाटी क्यों आए हैं?
अरे भाई हम शिवसैनिक है, शिवसेना का कार्यकर्ता है, आगे है और क्या है।
सरकार देगी क्या? शिवसेना क्या हुआ? How many MLAs has come
So
here?
I have not counted any MLAs. Only 2-3 of my friends, they called me up. So I came to receive them. I don't know. I have never counted how many MLAs came or whatever things.
Government representative.
No. It's a personal relation. I came here. On personal relation, I came here.
What did they say? Did they say?
No, they said that they are coming to Assam. Yesterday night they said they are coming to Assam. So I came to receive them.
So what's their program now?
See, they haven't said about any program. They have not disclosed about any program. I also don't know about any program. Just I came to receive them at the airport as a courtesy. So I received them.